Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Classic Comics. One of the stories coming out of New York Comic Con that actually drew some interest is the announcement of Ghost Machine, a new imprint being published by Image Comics. This is the official announcement from Image, so let's go ahead and just take a look at this. Ghost Machine, first of its kind creator owned and cooperative media company, launches at New York Comic Con. Ghost Machine, a first of its kind creator owned and operated media company, officially launched today at New York Comic Con. Creators co own all the characters and universes developed for Ghost Machine, sharing in all publishing, media, merchandise, and beyond. The Pioneering Creator Collective is a global best of class roster of artists and writers whose award winning and iconic works include a who's who of comic legends, such as Batman, Superman, Spider Man, The Flash, The Ultimates, Black Lightning, and Green Arrow. This includes Jason Fabok, Gary Frank, Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns, Lamont McGee, Francis Menopole, Brad Meltzer, Peter J. Tomasi, and Maytal Chut. I don't know how you say this name. Chut, I guess. The company plans to announce additional talent in the months ahead, including one major superstar creator. All creators will be exclusive to Ghost Machine for their comics work after completing their already committed projects. In other words, these people are going to be working for Image and only Image going forward. As the Hollywood strikes have shown, creatives are disenfranchised with the traditional industry model. Creators seek increased empowerment as a natural progression to an ever changing entertainment landscape. Ghost Machine's enterprising business model is at the forefront of this evolution, with the characters and full company ownership shared by its creators in every way. Our ambition for Ghost Machine is to push beyond superheroes, introducing new genres, characters, and shared universes completely co owned by all the creators involved. We see this as the future of how creatives will work and retain creative control and meaningfully participate in success like never before, said the Ghost Machine founding creators' joint statement. Our passion is for the magic of graphic storytelling and the emotional resonance of compelling characters. But we are not just a comic book company. We are the first wholly creator owned and operated media company of its kind, born out of a desire to create and succeed together. Ghost Machine's titles will be published through the original champion of creator owned comics, Image Comics, the industry's third largest comic book publisher behind Marvel and DC, which launched in 1992 when 7 of the top comic book creators left Marvel Comics to own their own work and ideas. Now, Ghost Machine drives the industry norms and opportunities even further by having top talent collaborate and build out shared universes that they entirely control together. If Image Comics pushed the original boundaries, Ghost Machine is breaking barriers and creating a new frontier for creators. Eric Stevenson, publisher and chief creative officer at Image Comics, said, "It's been incredible to see how much planning has gone into what the Ghost Machine collaborators are putting together. It's an amazing list of talent, but beyond that, they're giving every aspect of this line a lot of thought, so that it's more than just another series launch, it's a true event. The way they're working together and working with Image make this a noteworthy development for us, as well as a must-read comics lineup for anyone looking for something different and new." And then they kind of go down the books and the publishers. I'm not going to go through it all because there's a video I'm going to show, but it's going to start with Geiger, Ground Zero by Jeff Johnson, Gary Frank, followed by a number of other titles, including Ghost Machine, Junkyard Joe, Redcoat, Rook Exodus, Rockefellers, and some other books.
Ghost Machine is not just a creator-owned comic book, it's a creator-owned company.
Ghost Machine is unlimited creative potential.
We're creating the world and the characters from scratch.
We have the creative freedom to push ourselves beyond what we've ever done before.
We get to tell the stories we want to tell.
We want to create iconic characters with massive, epic adventures.
We believe in the power of a good story.
But we wanted to create beyond superheroes. We're introducing 4 universes. Rook, Family Odysseys. We have our horror universe. And The Unnamed is a group of characters that have existed throughout American history that you've just never heard of.
The 2 books we've done so far set in this universe are Geiger and Junkyard Joe.
Geiger is a man who's become a monster to protect the people he loves. The story is his journey to trying to become a man again.
Junkyard Joe is a piece of military equipment who thinks he's a person and comes home to find a welcome or a family and finds nothing.
It's action-packed, it's emotional, and it's kicking off the entire world of The Unnamed. Like Redcoat.
Immortal, mercenary, bit of a tool. It isn't just set in the Revolutionary War of America and Britain. There's 350 years of alternative magical American history to play with.
Rook is its own book and its own universe that's separate from The Unnamed. Rook wears this mask that looks like a bird head that allows him to connect with birds as his spies, as a weapon, as he's trying to escape this dying planet.
Francis Manipul and I are doing the Rockefellers within the Family Odyssey group of books.
The best place to hide when you're in a witness protection program, perhaps, is through a different time.
Each universe has so much in it, and all of them come from a character-driven place.
We have the greatest artists out there, some of the best storytellers you can find.
There's somebody else that just signed on that I really want to talk about, but I cannot do it yet.
And we're going to take it to another level.
There's plenty of room for new stories.
It's not just cool explosions.
Heroes, yes. Capes, no.
This is beyond A-list.
We just want to create the best books on the stands.
Okay, so I think this all looks very promising. Now, these are top tier creators that are coming together to form this imprint. And it's interesting, of course, to note that most of them are DC talent, except maybe Brian Hitch. I mean, I think he's known more for his Marvel stuff, particularly working on the Ultimates back in the early 2000s. I think that's mainly what he's known for, but he has done a little DC stuff too. Francis Manipul, I mean, he's a DC artist. Brian Hitch, and Lamont McGee. Now, this guy, he apparently he was a writer on the Black Lightning TV series. And I'm guessing he's the writer on Rook, I believe. Jason Fabok, a DC artist. Okay, and then this person, Maytal, again, Chut or whatever this is, she was a writer on that Stargirl series that Jeff Johns produced. So I'm guessing she knew Johns through that, and that's how she got involved with this. And of Johns, of course, Jeff Johns is pretty much the most important creator at DC in the 21st century. He eventually rose to become chief operations officer, I think it was, or chief creative officer, or something like that, kind of overseeing the universe. And in the past several years, of course, he got involved in Hollywood, but he was tied very much to the Snyderverse and to the CW shows. And those, of course, are winding down. So I think that's part of the reason why he's now moving back into comics in a big way, because his Hollywood days are kind of coming to an end. Brad Meltzer, he did that Identity Crisis series at DC back in the 2000s. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not saying he isn't a good writer, just I didn't care for the story. And then they have these different universes, as they mention. And there was this Rook one, Family Odysseys. And then there's this horror line that they have not announced yet, because apparently there's an artist involved who's still under contract with another company, so they can't talk about it yet. And then I guess what's sort of like the main universe, this unnamed line with this Geiger character. And as you can see, some other characters get mentioned here. And this art is by Gary Frank, of course, an excellent artist. Now, Geiger seems to be like some kind of a character who's radioactive, something like that. I'm not sure exactly what all his powers are going to be. Now, Junkyard Joe here. This is obviously just a takeoff on G.I. Robot. So DC has a character called G.I. Robot. a robot who fought in World War II, right? And that's obviously what this is. I'm guessing that Junkyard Joe was originally some kind of an update or some kind of a rebooting of GI Robot that Jeff Johns wanted to do, and for whatever reason, DC didn't want to do it, or maybe they just weren't going to pay him enough. I don't know. And so he's obviously just kind of renamed the character Junkyard Joe for this new imprint. But again, it's Gary Frank art, so I mean, it looks great. And then Redcoat. So Redcoat, this one in particular kind of interests me because from the way he describes it, it sounds like this character is kind of going to be wrapped up in sort of the kind of sort of pseudo history that's grown up over the years about early America and the founding fathers, like them being involved in the Freemasons and the Freemasons being some kind of mystic cabal or something like that. I think they had, where's he here? So it looks like George Washington is like casting a spell or something. If that's what this is going to be, then I'm intrigued. I think that would be kind of cool because this is a period of history that really hasn't gotten a lot of attention in comics. So I think it would be fun maybe to read that. And Brian Hitch is a very good artist. Now, this Rook thing, the art's by Jason Fabok, who's great, but I gotta say, this one doesn't really excite me much. I don't know. I think there's just so many dystopian post-apocalyptic comics out there now that I don't know. That doesn't really do much for me. Now, this looks like fun. The Rockefellers. Apparently, this is a family from the future who are, I know they're under threat somehow in the future, and so they time travel back to the present, to our time, to hide from their enemies. And it seems like it's kind of, I don't know, kind of like Incredibles type-ish. They're a family with, I'm guessing they're like a big family of geniuses or something like that. That sounds like it could be fun. And Francis Manapul is definitely a good artist. Brad Meltzer, he's doing a book called First Ghost. I'm not sure what that's going to be about. They don't really get into it. But I mean, this all looks promising to me. I mean, I don't know if I'll like the books or not, but I feel safe saying that it won't be because the books themselves aren't good, just that maybe they're not to my taste for whatever reason. They'll be quality books. I'm confident of that much. It's interesting that this is happening on the heels of Mark Miller saying that the big two need to bring back popular creators to help boost these dying companies, just as several of DC's top creators are jumping ship to Image. I think it's safe to say Miller's idea isn't going to be coming to life anytime soon. This is a big loss of talent for DC, especially Johns, who has been synonymous with DC pretty much in his career. And the Ghost Machine announcement signals to me that DC has no plans to change course on what it's doing. And we're going to be getting more of the same from creators who are in comics to push the message, as it were, and really aren't interested in entertaining their readers and aren't really that talented. At least that's what I think. Let me know what you thought of Ghost Machine in the comments. Is this a new line of comics that's going to be a hit? Will it turn the fortunes of the comic industry around? Or will it just come and go without much fanfare? And while you're here, please do like this video and sub to the channel, and also check out some of my other videos. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.